Scrambled eggs. Now, have you ever tried to make scrambled eggs and they just come out completely wrong? I completely understand. I've been through it so long and it took me forever to find a recipe that made it so that it was light, airy, and fluffy instead of just little things that come out of a pan. Now, to start off, this is the equipment you will need. A saucepan. A saucepan is a lot easier to make the eggs in. It just holds the heat better, so it's easier to make them in those pans. A rubber spatula, that was easy to scrape off. If you haven't tried a rubber spatula, I highly recommend trying one because they are amazing to use. And actually, Gordon Ramsay, when he was teaching how to make scrambled eggs, that's how he taught how to make them, was with a rubber spatula. You'll need a small piece of butter. This is going to add flavor and make sure they don't stick to the bottom of the pan. 2 eggs per person, that's what I recommend. Salt, pepper, and a fork or a whisk, whichever one you prefer. Now, to prepare them, you're going to crack 2 eggs in a bowl. Now, this is the key part to making the best scrambled eggs. You have to whisk and whisk and whisk until they're light and fluffy. Alton Brown from the Food Network also suggests this technique as well because you're beating in air, which is just going to make them light and fluffy when you put them into the pan. Now, not only this, you're going to need to butter your pan before you put the eggs in because the butter is going to make sure they don't stick and it's going to add a really good flavor. I would also put them on medium heat. High heat is it's too high. They're going to burn too quickly. And low heat, you can try low if you would like, but I get frustrated with low heat. It takes too long. Nobody wants to be waiting there for like 10 minutes for scrambled eggs. So medium heat is like the perfect middle. So the other thing you have to do after you put it in the pan is you have to continuously stir when you put it in the pan. Don't stop stirring. Don't let them sit because that's how they get stuck to the bottom of the pan. And also, they get stuck to the bottom of the pan and you can easily overcook them that way. Now, Gordon Ramsay also recommends not putting the salt and pepper in while you're cooking it at first because it's going to make your eggs like gray and nasty looking. They'll still taste good, but they'll be like gray and nobody wants to eat gray eggs. So he recommends actually adding it at the end when they're almost completely done cooking. That way it gives it lots of flavor and then it just comes out correctly. So I've talked about the equipment that you would need it and the preparation that goes into it. Now, let's talk about plating it. So people like to overcomplicate eggs and egg dishes. If you just want eggs, you can simply put it on the plate, or you can choose to add garnishes. A great way is just an English muffin. Just toast it real quick, add your egg on top, and your like sauce on the side. It's good that way. Another technique you can do is adding fresh herbs on top. It gives it like a fresh, delicious flavor, and it's perfect for anybody. Now, eggs seem totally intimidating. I was so intimidated by scrambled eggs. Every time I would make it, I felt so embarrassed because they would just come out like these little like pieces. They weren't fluffy or airy or nothing. And let me tell you, these simple tricks, especially the one with just beating the egg, make sure it's like airy before you can tell the difference in how the eggs look before you put them in the pan. It's just incredible when it's all fluffy and airy. and it completely changes how they taste as well. So I shared with you what you would need, the prep that's included with it, and the plating. So I hope this helps you guys be less intimidated to cook scrambled eggs like I was.